Wow. I want your viewers, because we just never know when someone is struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the happiest people you'll run into, some of the happiest people you'll see on social media are dealing with some mental health issues behind the scenes. And it's just, it boggles my mind. And this is my words of wisdom. There isn't anybody on this planet that might be struggling that is doing something unique. Someone has been there before you, but they found a way to grab themselves by the bootstraps and pick themselves up and get to their tomorrow. What you're going through today does not have to define your tomorrow. Get through it. See your tomorrow.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Infinite Abilities Podcast. I am your host, Nick Yerhart, and we are here to encourage each other to find our own unique abilities. Let's go. All right, everyone. On today's episode of the Infinite Abilities Podcast, I have Kevin, and this guy is so awesome. I've heard a lot of good things about him, so I can't wait for him to share what he does and share how he helps others. So, Kevin, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hey, Nick, thank you first and foremost. I'm very honored to be here.
Of course.
About me, wow, just a crazy old dad, former Marine. I've got a few kids, married, have a pretty amazing life now. But if I were to go back over my life, I don't want to be one of those sad stories, but I'm not. I don't want to go there. But came from a pretty troubled past as a kid. I was physically abused by my mother quite a bit, and went through some other traumas, sexual abuse by adults, all those good things. Led to me at 17 attempting suicide, and survived. So thankfully, I'm still here because I've got big things to do. But fast forward, from then, went through the Marines, and then I spent a bunch of years in technology, worked for some technology manufacturing companies, and in between all of that and where we are today. Just to kind of lay the foundation of, of what makes me and where I'm at today is my pops, my dad. He was a retired Vietnam veteran. Back in 1992, he was struggling with some mental health issues and took his life. So he committed suicide in 1992. Yeah, thank you. In 2012, my sister, who was married to a Marine like myself, she was married to a Marine Corps intel officer. She came down with a disease and didn't want to be a burden on the family. She took her life as well. So, I lost my pops to suicide. I lost my sister to suicide. And my big wake up call for me was about 3.5 years ago when my daughter attempted suicide. And, all these things came to a head. And so, when you were asking to tell me a little, that's a really long way to tell you a little bit about myself. But just so you know, I'm a guy who I pivoted on what was important to me, and what's important to me moving forward. And this is where my passion and my purpose are, is I want everyone to see their tomorrows. I don't want any family member, any friend to have to bury a loved one. So that's my passion and my purpose moving forward. A little bit about me is a lot of years in the tech industry to the point now where software startups are what drive me, and saving lives is probably, it's my biggest passion. It's my biggest purpose.
Awesome, and thank you for what you do. I've been at the point where I really thought about suicide myself.
It breaks my heart.
It's just one of those things, and that was 3-4 years ago for me, and thankfully I had like a wake up moment, and I was like, something needs to change, because there's only one other thing that's going to happen. So,
right.
That's Nick, when
I am sorry to hear that, my friend. I am truly sorry to hear that, but I am so thankful you are here. You've got a lot of power inside you that needs to be shared with people. I mean, watching your podcast for the last week or so, you've got a major way of connecting with people, and here's the crazy thing. And this is what I was talking to somebody about last week. You bring happiness out of people. You made me smile. You got me engaged. And for an old guy like me who deals with my own mental health struggles, you made me realize that there are great people on this planet, and you are certainly one of them. So I am so thankful you are here.
Well, thank you for that. It really means a lot. And, I'm very thankful for myself that I'm still here, and I knew I had to change, and that's when I got involved in, self-improvement, my mindset, learning how to love myself, learning how to accept myself. That was the biggest part of it, is accepting the fact that I have cerebral palsy. It's never going to go away, so I need to accept it and own it and be myself. Before, I was ashamed of it. I would try to hide it, which you cannot hide CP at all. It's not something you could hide. But I tried my whole life, until I was, 29, 28 years old. I tried to hide it, and it's like, you can't. So, like, out in public, I was always shy. I wouldn't do the things that make my life easier in public because I was always afraid of what other people were thinking of me. And once I got over that, where I just decided, why do I care? Like,
right.
I know who I am. So now I do whatever, and people stare, and I don't care. It's like, whatever, So
I love that you have that going for you internally, because so many people do not, and you do. And I'm so glad that you were able to find that in yourself, to find that power inside you. Because like I just said, you have a very infectious way of connecting with people, and you bring joy out of them. When I watch your podcast, you're such a happy guy, and that attracts. What you give out to this universe, you attract back.
You get back.
Yeah, and so I'm so thankful. I'm telling you right now, God knows you're a gift. He needs you here, and you need to be here because you need to share. Because you've got an old guy like me, 57 years old. You've got me believing in you. And there are thousands and thousands of people out there just waiting to hear your story.
I thank you. And, that was kind of one thing that I realized, too, is, growing up, a lot of times I would lose faith in God, and I would do the whole, poor me game, why did God put me here like this, blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, oh, now I see why. I'm the way I am because, number one, it made me who I am. Without my disability, I wouldn't be as strong as I am. And I wouldn't be able to help people the way that I can help them. So now it's like, okay, now I see why God put me here this way. Because I have a gift, and I need to help a lot of people.
100%. And what you just said is 100% true, because so many people think, I've been there myself. So many people, we get so caught up in what's happening to us that we forget that our lives are amazing. They truly are. We get so wrapped up in some of that little bit of darkness that we're going through, and we tend to forget that. You are a testament to how amazing life can be. And there are, like I was just going to say, there are millions of people out there who have not had to deal with some of the struggles you probably have, but yet they don't understand just how great their lives are. So I really I'm so glad you're involved in so many communities that you're involved in. I really need you to get out there, and I need you to tell everybody why it matters, why you're here, why they matter, and why they're here. I think you've got a lot of power inside you. And again, I am so happy to be connected to you.
Thank you. And, that's what I work on. I want to reach as many people as I can and help them in whatever way will help them the most. That's what I realized. So, like, people are different, So it's like, wherever I enter their life, I need to help them at the stage that they're at. So that's 100%. What I love doing.
That is so beautiful, Nick. I love that.
Thank you. And now it's like my passion is helping others. Like, that's what I'm passionate about, because that brings more joy than any amount of money in the world, any car, any house. Like, the amount of joy I get from knowing that I help people, that's all I need, you know?
Yeah, I am so happy that you have found that. I finally found that as well. I lived so many years in the corporate space, and I thought I had to have the nice house, the nice car, live that life, give off that image, and I had that. And I will tell you, I didn't have happiness. I couldn't find happiness with that. You know, making $500,000 a year sounds great, but if you aren't happy, you do nothing with it. You do nothing to help change this world. I was not positively affecting this world until I realized one day what really mattered. And I simplified my life. And I really just, I drew in to the fact that we are here for a purpose. You know, gosh, I heard a quote the other day, and I hope I say this correctly. I probably won't, but it's, we come here to connect with our soul, not to sell our soul. And it's so true. We are here to connect with our soul, but in the process of doing so, it's connecting with others. It's, what we learn, we give, we teach. And so I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful I met you. I truly am. I will make sure that for my remaining days, like I said, I'm an old man now. My remaining days, I will do everything I can to ensure that I get your message out as well. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful for you, and I'm thankful you're here.
I appreciate that so much. Like it really means a lot. And that's another thing that I love about what I do. I connect with incredible people like you, and we're just out here trying to make the world a better place. And it's just incredible.
I love that. And I've seen that from your guests. I've seen that from you. I mean, what you're attracting, the energy you put out, the energy you get back, you are what this world needs. And I'm thankful for that. And thank you for saying that about me as well. Yeah. It took me a while to get here. I will tell you that. But now that I'm here, I'm with you. I'm in the same boat. I want to ensure that what we give out, we get back, that we make this world a better place, and we help change lives. So thank you.
Yep. Oh, thank you. All right. So let's get back to a little bit about what you do. So how do you like to spend most of your time?
I got remarried, and in the process of getting remarried, I inherited an amazing high energy 10-year-old boy. And I will tell you, I've known Kai now for over 2 years. Kai's been in my life. And so a lot of what we do circles around Kai. Kai is always on the go. Kai always wants to be doing something. And so you can probably laugh if you want to, but Kai has got me playing all sorts of video games. My old bud at 57 is playing video games with a 10-year-old. So we play the Call of Duties. We just played Cup Bop. We just played some goofy computer game before he left for camp. So my life, it's changed a lot, but for the better. I have an amazing woman in my life who has called me up to do greater things. That woman does not allow me to sit in a, oh, woe is me state. She's like, Kevin, you've got big things to do. Let's get there. So, between Chrissy and Kai, my life is spent doing a lot of fun things. We just got back from camping. We love to fish, so we go fishing. We love to golf. We like having a glass of wine with friends and just having some great conversations. And then I have 3 other kids from a prior marriage, and I hang out with them as much as I can. They're all your age now, 32, 31, and 30. And I will tell you that they have their own families. They're doing their own things, but I try to be around them as much as I can. But things I love to do, I love to, like I said, I love being with the family, doing family things. And when I'm not, I love being out connecting with people. Just went to a connection meeting last week that I did not want to go to. Something about me was just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go to this meeting, but I went, and it was the best time with about 15 older adult men, and made some amazing connections and people who were able to introduce me into some people that I needed to meet. And I nearly told myself I didn't want to go. I wasn't going to be there. So, I love connecting with people. I love helping to elevate others. Like you, I love connecting people to everyone I know, because somewhere out there, they're going to find what they might be missing in their own life, whether that be personal or professional. So, my life is just built around hanging out with other people and trying to connect as many people as I can. So that's probably a really boring life to somebody your age, but to an old guy my age, it seems super exciting, and it wears me out, and I got to be to bed by 9 p.m. So,
hey, it sounds like we're living the same life, actually. So
that's awesome.
I love, just chilling with friends, having a glass of wine, and at networking events. I love them. And I've had the same thing happen where it's like, I don't want to go. I just don't want to go. But then you do, and then it turns out incredible. And that's one thing that my mentor always says. It's Grant Cardone. He says, just show up.
Yeah, for
just
sure.
Always show up. And, just showing up makes a huge difference, because if you don't, then you don't, number one, you don't know what you're missing out on. Number two, that you could make a connection that could literally change your life.
Absolutely.
So just always show up.
Well, Grant is 100% correct. Show up. It's pretty crazy that that I went, because they say your greatest growth happens outside your comfort zone. So every once in a while, my comfort zone it tightens up, and I forget I need to step outside it. I need to get out. I need to go talk with people. I need to go do these things. So Grant is 100% correct. Show up.
Yep. And he also says, get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
That's something that a lot of my social media videos are about. It's getting out of your comfort zone. Because you're not going to grow unless you get out.
100%.
So, yeah, that's really, really awesome. So, what are you currently working on as far as your business?
Yeah, so I mentioned when you asked me a little bit about myself, obviously dealing with, a lot of death in the family. I've lost Marine brothers and sisters that I served with to suicide. I've lost friends to suicide. And, and then I've got some influential friends who are in a very big network of a lot of people. They know a lot of people, a lot of corporations, and they've had some stuff happen in their lives. And these things all came to a head for me. And I had an epiphany one day. I was like, we need to do something to ensure that everyone sees their tomorrow. And so I came up with an idea for my fourth startup, a software startup. And this company is called Text Lifeline. It's an app designed to do daily check-ins on people just to make sure they're okay. And so, what happens just on the basic level, the quick route on how this works is, like, in the morning, it'll send a text message to me, say, Kevin, Text Lifeline checking in, is everything okay? If I respond yes, which could be on a basic phone or a smartphone, a 1 or a 2 or a yes. If I respond yes, the app says great, it resets, it'll check in on me again tomorrow. If I miss my first window for check-in, it'll wait about 6 hours and it'll send another text message. It says, hey, Text Lifeline checking in, same messaging. Again, if I respond, it resets. If I don't respond, we continue throughout the day until we get to about like 7 p.m. And then it sends one last text message and says, Text Lifeline checking in, is everything okay? If I don't respond by the end of the day, now it'll actually, in 15 minutes, it'll prompt itself to reach out to my team members. So it could be family, neighbors, it could be Grant Cardone. It could be military guys. It could be people on their team. It could be a mental health counselor. It could be a myriad of people. But it'll send a text to them that says, hey, we haven't heard from Kevin since yesterday. You should check in on him. And so there's just a very non-invasive way for us to just check in and make sure somebody's okay. If they respond, they're okay. Their team realizes everything's all right. We don't need to be worried. But if they're not, we let people know. And so the app, there's a lot of features to it. Boy, I could sit here for an hour and tell you everything that this app does, and I won't do that to you. But that's just the basics. It's just to check in and make sure somebody's okay, whether that's related to mental health, whether that's related to medical, or to somebody who's aging and living alone at home. I mean, the statistics have become very alarming. I mean, people in their 50s and up, about 80% of them, live with somebody. meaning 20% of people live alone at home. When you get up into the 60s and 70s, those numbers come up considerably. When you get into the 80s, over half the people who are 80 and older live alone at home. And so this app just does a check-in just to make sure they're okay. You know, a good friend of mine, he was a pro wrestler with the WWF back in the day. His name was Diamond Dallas Page, DDP. In fact, he has DDP yoga. Good buddy of mine. Well, his friend that he wrestled with, 6'10", his name was Scott Hall, used to wrestle under this name, Razor Ramon, with Hulk Hogan. And he fell in the home and broke his hip. And in the process, he gained a lot of weight. And in the process of trying to get back to his feet, he had a heart attack. He was not found for 3 days. So he laid there after having a heart attack for 3 days, and someone found him. They got him to the hospital where he had another heart attack and he passed away. Well, Dallas, when he and I were talking about this, he's like, brother, your app could have saved Scotty. Somebody would have been there within 24 hours. And that's what it's designed for. Mental health emergencies, medical emergencies, aging folks when they need help. Somebody's fallen, and hurt themselves at home. And so this app is my passion and my purpose. I've put 100% of me into this. I'm launching with some really big organizations right now. My very first partner to come on, you don't have to worry about this for a while, but my very first partner to come on is this old organization called AARP. Your parents probably know who AARP is. And so
my grandparents, yeah.
Yeah. And so AARP, they've got 38 million subscribers to their platform. They're getting ready to send us out to their audience. That's amazing. We're going to be building a list of people. We're going to be putting customers on the platform. I'm currently in talks with a lot of really big companies like the NFL. The NFL wants us for two purposes. They want us because our app also does in-app crisis intervention. We determine if somebody's in a mental health emergency or a medical emergency through the app using a third party. And if there is, a mental health counselor intervenes immediately. They can come in, they can talk with somebody. If I'm having an episode, if I'm in a dark place, something's up with my mental health, and the app reaches out to me and I don't respond in a favorable way, they can do a crisis intervention. And I can be speaking to via text. I can be speaking with a counselor right away. And if needs be, they can actually take it to the phone. So we can actually have a conversation on the phone, what's going on. They can really maybe bring me down a little bit from whatever anxiety or I might be going through at the time. So we do the crisis intervention. And the reason why the NFL loves us is because their players will not disclose that they're in a mental health spot. They just won't because they're afraid of losing a contract. And so the beauty of our app is they'll be able to get help for something that they won't talk to the NFL about. So on the mental health side, we can help, but also for their players. There's a player playing right now for the Indianapolis Colts. That's how I got started with the NFL. He's playing for the Indianapolis Colts. His grandmother raised him back in California. He worries about his grandma being alone at home. So the app can also help with mental health, but it'll also help him just to make sure that his grandma's okay. And if she's ever not okay, someone will get notified. A first responder can show up. And so, for me, that's just the start of it. There's a lot of really, really great features in it. We have our first mobile device. We're manufacturing a mobile device on the T-Mobile platform to help people who are sight impaired. And then we have one coming for people who don't necessarily have the ability to use a smartphone with limbs. So good. My cousin works in the sight impairment space. And so he's worked with people who have impairments of some kind for 30 plus years. So he's helping us design a second device that can be done through eyes and through other ways to interact with the device. So we'll have some things for those as well. And I can't wait to pick your brain to see what might make your life easier.
I got ideas already. So
I would love to pick your brain.
We'll talk about that after this.
Yes, for sure. I will pick your brain for sure. And awesome. I promise to make sure that I give back to you. I will reciprocate and take care of you. But that being said, my goal in this life is to make sure everyone sees their tomorrow. I don't want loved ones to bury loved ones. And so for me, that's my whole entire focus right now is just saving lives.
That's incredible. And it's such a good thing. It's so needed. It really is. It's something that's really needed. And I can tell that you're not just making just an app. Right. You're making it the best that you can because you know how it can help.
Absolutely, 100%. And I look for people like you like my cousin, like other experts to give me ideas on something that we're creating that meets their needs.
That's amazing. So, we gotta know what the app is called so the listeners can go get it right now.
Yeah, so the app is called Text Lifeline.
Text Lifeline.
Again, it's a lifeline that happens via text. There's a lot of things that we can do with this. Like I said, that's the basic foundation to it, but there's so much more to it. And so I'll make sure that we get a link over to you afterwards so you can share that link and do what we can to ensure that everyone sees their tomorrow. So thank you so much for that.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, this is so important. So, like, really important.
Thank you.
So, number one, this episode will be going out very soon, like within the next couple of days. So, because I want your message to get out there as quick as I can.
Thank you.
So,
well, I will make sure I share this episode with everyone I know. I want everyone to see this. I want everyone to see what an amazing man you are.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, and I appreciate what you're doing. The whole time you're telling us about the app, it's like, number one, I need it. Number two, my whole family needs it. So, right there, we will get signed up. So thank you.
Well, I try not to give away memberships, but I will make sure that you have a membership on me. I will take care of you. I'll get you signed up right away.
I appreciate that.
I will take care of you right away. I hope that you and I have a lifelong friendship moving forward.
Me too.
I'm gonna rely on you to help me with some things as we move forward too.
Okay, I'm totally down. I will do anything.
I appreciate you, Nick.
Yeah, of course. Do you have any last words of wisdom?
Wow. I want your viewers, because we just never know when someone is struggling. Some of the happiest people you'll run into, some of the happiest people you'll see on social media are dealing with some mental health issues behind the scenes. And it's just, it boggles my mind. And this is my words of wisdom. There isn't anybody on this planet that might be struggling that is doing something unique. Someone has been there before you. But they found a way to grab themselves by the bootstraps and pick themselves up and get to their tomorrow. What you're going through today does not have to define your tomorrow. Get through it. See your tomorrow. The sun will come up. It'll be bright outside. And just understand that what you're going through today, don't let that define you. Don't make a decision based off of what you're doing here. Reach out. It's so hard to reach out. There's such a stigma around mental health. It's so hard to reach out to somebody, but reach out to someone. Even if you just call the mental health hotline, they don't know who you are. They can't track you. Talk to somebody. Deal with what you're going through. Reach out to a friend, and also be a friend for somebody else. Be there for someone, because you just, like I said, you just never know who's fighting a battle right now, and they need you. And I tell people all the time, reach out to your people. You just never know.
Exactly. You just never know. So if you're struggling, just reach out. And if you want to reach out to me, go right ahead. I will be there for you.
Same. I will be there for you too, Nick. So thank you for being that trusted ally for somebody else.
Oh, yeah, of course. Always. So I got one last question. So my slogan is, your abilities are infinite. What does that mean to you?
Well, I think we so often put limitations on ourselves because we don't think outside those boundaries. And like we were just talking about, earlier, once you step outside your comfort zone, you build yourself a new comfort zone. And so we've got to get over this mental hurdle that we put up in front of ourselves that keeps us from becoming greater, whatever that might be. And so, our infinite means we're just, there's no shackles on us. There are absolutely no shackles on us holding us back. We allow our mind to hold us back. And so I think if we, doesn't have to be, there's this stupid old saying about how do you eat an elephant? Well, you do it one bite at a time. Well, that's the thing. When it comes to our abilities, take it one step at a time, one bite at a time, and you'll get there, and you'll establish a new comfort zone. And all of a sudden you realize, okay, I can make it to here. Now let's make it to here. And so your abilities, they truly are infinite. We've just got to stop roadblocking ourselves and just get out there and push forward.
Yep, I agree. That's what you gotta do. So
100%.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If people want to reach out to you, how can they find you? Like your website, your social media?
Yeah, I'm on social media. You can find Kevin Quinn on social media. I'm on Facebook. I'm on. I don't have a real big following on Instagram. I'm on TikTok for some reason. I have thousands of followers on TikTok. I don't know what they see in this old guy. But you can find Kevin Quinn on TikTok, Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. You can go to Text Lifeline on Facebook, and you'll see us there. And by golly, I don't care who you are. If you're ever in a place where you need to talk to somebody, I want to be there. You can reach out to me. I'll give you my phone number. We'll jump on a call. We'll jump on a Zoom. We'll do whatever we need to. So you can find me wherever. I'm there for you. I want to be a friend and know that I've been where you are. So reach out.
Awesome. I thank you again for everything that
Nick.
you do. You're helping so many people.
Thank you, and thank you for allowing me to come on your podcast. I'm extremely grateful. So I look forward to this. Thank you.
Of course, and I know we'll do another one down the road. So
wonderful. Well, thank you for that.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, and we will talk to you soon. If you enjoyed this show, please go ahead and share it on your Instagram story and tag me in the Nick Yerhart. Also, go ahead and share it anywhere else that you see fit, because the only way that I can grow this is by you guys sharing it. I don't sell anything on here. I don't have any sponsors, so let's just get it out there by word of mouth and help more people. Alright, everyone, remember, your abilities are infinite.